to your home in 2013, only on Xbox One. Jago. Glacius. Saberwolf.
Hey again, guys, it's day 2 of PAX Australia. We're down in the classic gaming area with myself, Pete, from Console Domination, and this very cool, super legendary dude. The what would be your official title and name?
Music Dude.
The Music Dude. The dude that gave probably millions around the world, I would say, goosebumps during E3's press conference with that only on Xbox One, Killer Instinct Man. How you going today, mate?
I'm good, man. How you going?
I am good. I'm probably a bit nervous, but I'm loving it. So Killer Instinct Man. When you first got asked, what was the initial thoughts in your mind?
It's a combination of utter elation and complete terror. On one hand, I'm so excited that a game that defined my childhood is being brought back to a new generation, but at the same time, I'm terrified at the pressure that involves. So it's a mixture of emotions. But I mean, in the end, it's just all about excitement, man.
The one thing I guess for me, when I actually saw the E3 presentation, the drums, the style of music, and the fact that the original tune theme had been altered but enhanced, if you know what I mean. Like, it's a sort of a game that has a massive cult following. It's been dormant for a very long time. To see it make a comeback and with a completely different opening would have sort of, it still would have had excitement, but to see it come back with that drum, the guitars, the same riff in, like, it just built it all up. But with the original though, before we talk a bit more about that one, with the original, man, were you a big arcade fan of it? Did you play it back in the day and all that sort of stuff?
Yes, of course, absolutely. And to me, I loved that the arcade machine itself was almost the first rumble pack. Because when you were playing on the machine, every time there'd be a punch or a kick sound, the machine itself would kind of vibrate and you'd really feel it through you. It was the first game that really made me concentrate on the music. You'd get to play as certain characters on certain stages just to hear that music. That was what was so cool about it. So yeah, of course, man.
With the other day, with the media event that you did, showing, I guess, behind the scenes of Killer Instinct, the one thing I noticed that it seemed to be a lot of tribal sort of feel to it. Something that I really digged, just that bass. Brutally honest, it had that feel that, with any fighting game, if you can set a mood, which I think you are doing, that you're sitting there beside your friend, you're in that character select screen, you're picking the character, the music kicks off, and if it puts you in that mood of, dude, I am going to punch the shit out of you, then you've hit the mark. Like, what's the inspiration to the directional change that you've had for the music? What inspired you to shift it that way?
I have 2 goals with this project. The first goal is to every piece of music needs to be a tribute to Robin Beanland and Graham Norgate, the original composers. Every single thing needs to complement what they did. It's a foundation that was laid down by them. I'm simply a custodian of the art, so everything needs to be awesome for them. Coupled with that, it needs to be awesome for fans. Fans need to be able to play this game and know that it's a Killer Instinct game. They need to hear the music and feel that that's Jago, that's Saberwolf, that's Glacius. They need to know that stuff. So it's pretty easy. You just look at the character and find out their motivations. So Jago with a tiger spirit, so he's quite spiritual, he's quite motivated by a higher cause, he's focused, he's a determined warrior, but he's badass, he's violent, he's big, he's angry. And Glacius is the spiritual kind of crazy, mysterious alien who has come down and is trying to protect Earth from the alien technology that he's crashed in his ship. So he's an honorable type of character at the same time. So the inspiration is kind of there already. It's almost like the music has already been written. It's just I've got to go ahead and actually do the work to make it done. Yeah.
Does the musical process that you do with it, does it have to go through the original creators? So how is that on a level of sort of, I guess you could say, oh shit? Like, has there been many tracks that you've had to edit, change to make them happy?
I don't think so. I mean, whenever you're doing any creative thing, you always go through several different versions. You do version 1, version 2, version 3, version 4. Often it's a journey. Where you end up isn't where you started, but it's that journey of going through the multiple versions that led to that point. So you can never kind of finish at the end, you know. You can never start at the end, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Everything that I do needs to go through Robin Beanland. That is so important. He needs to approve on absolutely everything. Not so much for legitimate reasons, just my own personal reasons. If I'm doing something that he determines that sucks, I will redo it as many times as it needs to be done. So he can feel proud that this is something that feels like a tribute to him, you know? So yeah, absolutely. That's the most important thing. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Now, a little birdie told me that in the original, that the cool tunes that it had, like the Cinder, I used to like his track, I used to like Full Gore's track, are going to maybe make an appearance again?
Well, that's something I can't talk about, man. I'm so sorry. It's Killer Instinct. You can imagine what sort of characters will be back. That's kind of all I'll say. Yeah.
So there'll be heaps of things to look forward to, things that we can't talk about, things that we don't want to get in trouble about, so we won't mention, which is always a good thing. But another thing, besides a little bit away from Killer Instinct, you've got a couple other big games. Are you allowed to talk about some of the other big games that are in the works? Yeah?
Yeah, so Killer Instinct's a fantastic thing to be working on. It's great to be banging away on that. When I'm not banging away on that, I'm doing Wolfenstein: The New Order, which is a really, really fun one. And what's fascinating about that is it's similar to Killer Instinct. I mean, is in that it's kind of the first popular first-person shooter. Wolfenstein defined a genre that has grown and grown and grown. So being able to have the opportunity to kind of revisit that is incredible as well. So the guys from Bethesda and Machine Games that are putting that together are so focused on the Wolfenstein universe. And where we're taking this story and the alternate timeline with the Nazis that have won World War II and they've taken over the world, man, it's just incredible to be able to play with that. So that's really cool. And then to keep on the whole nostalgia thing, I'm doing a really, really cool sci-fi game. It's a horror game. It's set on the moon, and you're exploring this abandoned moon base. The game is called Routine. It was one of the first games to be greenlit on Steam. It has gone hugely successful and hugely popular, and people can't wait for it. And this is a fun one because it's an 80s version of the future. So instead of having high-tech touch screens and all that sort of stuff, it's Commodore 64s, floppy disks, old 80s synths and things. That's the cool thing. So man, it's retro nostalgia all the way. Killer Instinct, Wolfenstein, Routine.
Very, very nice. That fits in very well with what we're doing right here. Well, mate, we won't hold you up for too much longer. You've probably got heaps of people to see, things to do. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Pete. Hey, I hope everybody enjoys what we're doing and things like that. And anybody has any thoughts or any ideas, feel free to contact me, man. I love hearing what people have to say, for sure. Thanks, Pete.
No worries. We'll have all these details up on the website. Definitely check him out. Mick, the man, doing the music for Killer Instinct.